Today we are going over a tier list of the killers in Dead by Daylight based on how bangable they are. So, I can't do this. Okay. Basically, the criteria for this is so I'm attracted to women primarily, so I'm going to try to make this fair. So I'm going to try to consider men and women equally, just based on how healthy and strong and desirable they are, based on like the sentiment I've heard from my friends and other people in the community. Um, so yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into it. At S tier, we have the Huntress. I believe Huntress is a very strong, tall, beautiful woman. She's like she would have endurance. She's well built, very all the right things in the right places, and yeah, she could go all day. So, Pyramid Head, obviously huge, big, bulking man. A lot of the same reasons. Very strong. He literally carries a giant knife around that's like 9 feet long and a pyramid on his head. He wouldn't, he wouldn't have any problems going all day, all night. You know. And then Wesker, also like just a very beautiful man, very very strong, very charming, has just you know that certain riz. And Myers, again, very strong, very healthy. A lot of these killers are up here for the same reason. Skull Merchant, she's just so curvy in all the right places, and I absolutely love her. And also bonus points because she's into manga too. So if you were with her, then you could talk about manga, and that'd be great. Who doesn't love that? And then Ghostface, obviously everybody loves Ghostface. The only reason that Skull Merchant and Ghostface are a bit lower in the S tier is just because they don't have that super strength that the other ones have. That would make them, have more endurance and be more capable. But obviously Ghostface is a very attractive man who a lot of people are very, very into. So he earns his spot up here. In the A tier, we're going down to like, a little bit not so special, but still just totally great. Kazan Yamaoka, the Oni. He's a very big, burly man. He honestly, I flip flop between S and A tier. I just feel like there's not as much love in the community for the Oni. So maybe we need more fan art or something. But, people just don't really seem to appreciate him as much. Bubba, very big, nice man. A little too big. Maybe that's the same problem with the Oni. A little overweight. But, overall, still, I see a lot of fans of Bubba out there. So he earns his place. Portia, the Houndmaster, very, very fine, nice woman. I guess I don't know if the dog has to be there. Hopefully not, but that could make it uncomfortable for sure. But overall, yeah, just a very beautiful woman. No complaints. Dracula, he's a vampire, so I don't know how that works entirely. But he's a nice looking man, and I guess yeah, he just seemed like a nice guy. Cool. A lot of these were just kind of vibe, and just how special and how I don't know, especially for the S tier is just more like special, like they just very stand out characters. The Ghoul is next. He's a little bit below Dracula because he's a very nice looking man and he seems like quite attractive, and obviously the Kagune that he has, like the big tentacles, could be interesting. But also he can't like eat things as far as I'm aware. I don't know much about Tokyo Ghoul, but ghouls can't eat anything, so he could have difficulties with certain interactions. I'm trying not to get censored on YouTube, but guys. The Trapper, obviously very, very nice, big, burly man. The only downside is he has like hooks and stuff into him that could be uncomfortable. But otherwise, yeah, very attractive, healthy, normal man. The Wraith also, pretty just normal, good man. As far as I'm aware, he's not burnt or dead or anything, so yeah. He's not quite as like as big as the Trapper, so that's why I didn't put him on there. He's a little skinnier, but still very well built. Trickster next. He's a very nice looking guy, but he's pretty skinny. So I think in terms compared to the other killers, he might not be as strong. Especially even like Kaneki, the ghoul, seems like skinny too, but he's also has the strength of a ghoul. He's a half ghoul, so that's not going to be an issue for him. But the trickster is a little skinnier, a little shorter, so he might not be as strong or have the same level of endurance. The Legion is a little weird because it's like 4 different people, so I kind of put them there just because like they're all just kind of normal people. So I guess, and they're younger too, so I put them below Trickster. And then Pinhead, I put him there. I don't know a lot about. I've never seen Hellraiser, but as far as I'm aware, he seems like a normal guy. He's got pins in his head. If you're into that, and those chains could be pretty cool. But I just felt like he wasn't. He's a little more off kilter than like Trickster or Legion or Wraith, or more normal people. And then I put Amanda at the bottom. Amanda, if you've ever seen the Saw movies, is a pretty nice looking lady. She's pretty attractive. The thing is, if you read the item description for her like head, the pig head cosmetic, it says a rotting, festering pig head. So I kind of put her like at the bottom because I'm like, if she has a dead pig head on, that could put her way lower, like B or C tier, because I don't want to be smelling that. But at the same time, like Amanda from the movie is very attractive. But if she has like a literal dead pig on her head, because like the thing is, when the entity brings people into its realm, it doesn't always understand human anatomy. So it might have seen her with a pig and been like, oh, you have a pig head on, not realizing that it's obviously a fake pig head. But so these are all the killers in the state that they're in the entity's trials. So Amanda could be a bit weird. So that's why I'm like not sure. But again, Amanda, very attractive woman. If you've ever seen Saw, she's very nice. You should watch Saw. She's in. Is she in the first one? Yeah, I think she's in the first. I think she's in all 3 of the first ones. She really comes into her own more in the second one. But yeah. Next up is Billy. We're starting with a B tier, and we have Billy. Billy is like a very nice, strong guy. But he does have like scars over his body, so that could be uncomfortable. That's the only reason why he's not up there with like Trapper and Wraith. And then Deathslinger, similar reason, pretty fine, nice looking guy, but he does have like a limp, and he's an older man, so he might not be able to keep up as much or be able to do as many things. And then Nemesis, he does have that tentacle, which is, could be fun. At the same time, though, his body has been mutated by the T virus, so we don't know exactly what his parts look like or what the texture of his skin is, or lots of things could be gross and not so appealing. But so he's kind of a wild card. We're not sure entirely, but he has the tentacle, which definitely keeps him out of like C or D tier. And overall, he seems like a pretty normal human, other than the fact that he's also super tall. We don't know what's happened to his body, so that's why he's not sure. Next up is the Clown. Clown is obviously very overweight and lazy, so he probably wouldn't be that enjoyable. He'd probably just want you to ride him or something. Like, I don't really think it'd be that great, but he's not like a monster or anything. He's a monster psychologically, but he's not like, he has a penis and I'm sorry, I don't think I can say that, but he has a body, a normal human body. The Charlotte, or aka, well, I guess technically it's the twins. I was confused about the twins at first because Victor can detach. So I'm like, if Victor can detach, then you could just do it normally, and then she's just a pretty normal human woman, not the most conventionally attractive woman, but still, just a woman. But if Victor has to be there, then that's not. We don't like that. We're good. No Victor. Yeah, Victor. It's like the opposite of her Mori. When she Moris you, it's cool if she has Victor. It's not cool if she doesn't have Victor. It's the opposite if you're becoming acquainted with her. Doctor. Doctor seems like a pretty normal human, but the thing you got to remember is he's been burnt a lot by like electroshock therapy, so his skin is going to be all dry and everything that comes with being a burn victim. So that could be very unpleasant. Same thing with Freddy. He was burnt in a fire. He's also a dream demon, so I'm not sure if he's real, but just assuming that he is a real person, he's been burnt in a fire, so all his skin and everything is going to be really just awful. But otherwise, they're both just normal human people. So you could definitely do worse. I'm sure you could do it with them. The artist, I really wanted to put the artist higher. The thing you have to remember, though, is that she doesn't have hands and she doesn't have a tongue. So you can imagine how you're losing out on a lot of things that you could do with it, with those body parts. So overall, she's a very pretty woman. Um, you know, but those missing the body parts is, would make it much less enjoyable. The knight, the thing about the knight, I wasn't sure where to put him because he's wearing a suit of armor. We don't know what he looks like under that armor. He seems like a pretty well built man, but there's also a theory in the community that the knight and the Guardia Campania died at the end of their lore and that they've been like resurrected in the entity's realm. It's kind of weird though because the entity doesn't really do that usually. The entity usually takes living people. I mean, there's some dead people, but I mean, obviously, but like to take someone who just straight up died and then bring them back to life, like there's other people like Springtrap or like Sadako who are living on through like possession or like a curse, but just to take someone who just straight up died and just bring them back, that doesn't really seem that believable. So I mean, maybe I don't know, maybe his guards are dead, but overall, the knight, like, he could be dead, he could not, he could be alive. It's kind of people in the community aren't sure, so for that reason, I'll just put him there. Like, if he, assuming that he is alive and that he's just a normal person under that suit of armor, he'd be great. He might even be an A tier. But the fact that he could be dead, like a dead body in there, like, obviously that would cause a lot of issues with the skin and the texture and the falling apart and everything is, yeah, bad. Starting with C tier, some of these people are here for the same reason. The spirit, she, like, it's weird because when you look at her, she like looks healthy, but she has blue skin and her limbs are cut up. So we're kind of assuming that she's like a dead body. So I wasn't sure where to place her because if she's dead, that would be, she looks like a dead body. I mean, why do you think her skin is blue? So we're assuming also, in like a lot of, in Japanese mythology of like onryos and like curses, usually these curses are born when something really bad happens somewhere, like, Rin being cut up by her father. And it's that like negative energy, that resentment, that like horrible tragedy that creates the curse. So, but the thing is also the entity in the lore seems like he takes her the moment, or it takes her the moment before she dies. So it's not really clear. But in the state that she's in the trial, she has blue skin. She's cut up. She seems like, I don't know. It's weird. Not really sure what to make of her, but the next one, Sadako, is very clearly dead, and so that would obviously be very unpleasant and disgusting. And she's been dead for a long time. She's been like in a well, so she's all like, God, imagine a dead body sitting in a body of water for years. Like, that would be horrible. I don't even want to think about it. But she is still a person. So the D tier is for, you'll see, it's like, you can already see it, but it's for not human people. People that you could literally not have sex with. So technically you could do it. Vecna, like, for same reason, he's a lich, which means that he's basically he's like a living dead body. He like, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, so this is just my best understanding, but basically he like takes a dead body and then possesses it to like live on. So he is a dead person, so again, all the same grossness that you could imagine. The plague, I feel like almost I should put Sadako below. Sadako should be like above Dread or something. She's really gross. The plague, Vecna doesn't look as gross though. Like, the Lich doesn't look so gross, just by looking at him. Unlike the plague, who has pustules and things all over her body. And so, first of all, it would be very gross and very uncomfortable to even touch her. And then also, if you did do it with her, then you would become infected and you'd probably die. So just from a pure looking of like the act of doing it, probably really gross and not that. But you could do it. But then you'd probably die. So it's not great. the blight, the blight's body has been like also it's a very similar thing to the plague, has been like changed and mutated by the serum of the blight. So he's not just a normal person anymore. He's like a hunchback, and he has like all kind of stuff dripping out of him. I don't even want to know what it'd be like. But technically, he's a person too, so you could do it if you tried hard enough. The nurse, I feel like nurse should maybe be above them. I'm thinking about this because the nurse, she was like, she got in a car crash and she was burnt, obviously, and so in the entity's realm, she's very burnt. But she's a woman. Maybe she should be in like B tier. I feel like maybe she should be like there, right there, you know? Because yeah, put her in line with the other burnt characters. Okay, and then we obviously get back to Sadako. Very disgusting. The Dredge. I think even though the Dredge is like an inhuman monster character, I still think you could do it because like it has body parts. Like it is like it's a floating void, but it also has body parts. So technically, you could have a private areas that you could do things to. So it would be uncomfortable because the thing about the dredge is it's like a fog, and then the body parts are usually at like the top of the fog. So getting into position to actually be able to do it like would be difficult because usually the body parts aren't close to waist level. So the logistics there are difficult, but still better than the hag. The hag, you have to remember, is made of mud. So also her body is like deformed in different ways too. So I don't even know if you could do it. I think she earns the spot right at the bottom of C because I think technically you could do it. However, she is made of mud. So it would be like so unenjoyable. Like you would have a better time just doing it with the earth. Just stick it into the ground and it'll be about the same experience as doing it with a hag. Next we have D tier. This is pretty much like maybe you could do stuff to them, but they don't even have like parts. The unknown. We'll start with the unknown. The thing is, it's like an alien skinwalker, so it's wearing the skin of a person. So maybe it has parts, but it probably doesn't. It probably doesn't even have like parts that you could do anything to. Because if you look at it, like its neck is all twisted and its whole body is like deformed. So it might not even have the things that you need to do it. Because it's just an alien trying to look like a human. It's not really a person. And then we go to Demogorgon. I don't think Demogorgon has genitals that you could do anything to. The same thing with the unknown, but definitely not. Like the unknown, maybe, probably not. The Demogorgon, like I really don't think it has anything. Same thing with the xenomorph. We've seen how xenomorphs reproduce. They have a face hugger and it goes into your, intubates you, and then it bursts out of your chest. None of that is pleasurable. And the xenomorph itself, obviously, that's how it reproduces. So it doesn't have any kind of other, parts that you could do anything to. And Singularity, I feel bad because there's a lot of people who are into Demogorgon and all these characters, but like you have to admit, they're all like, they probably don't even have parts. Like, just put it like that. Singularity, again, it's an AI creature that made a body for itself out of a bunch of plastic and computers and body parts. So it's like, no, just no. And we don't even know how structurally integral its body is. I mean, Hux is a pretty smart character. So I guess his body's probably like not going to fall apart, obviously. But I really don't think he included a PP or a Vajiji. And then next up we have Springtrap. It's pretty obvious. It's not only is it the whole dead body thing, it's a dead body inside of an animatronic suit. You're never touching whatever's down there. Like it's never getting out of that suit. He's literally, if you guys know Five Nights at Freddy's, it's literally Springtrap is a person who was like clamped. He had like, they're called spring locks. He basically had like springs stab into his body to forcefully hold him in place inside of an animatronic suit. And now it's a dead body that's been sitting in the back room of a pizzeria for 30 years, clamped into a suit, rotting. Like you're never touching anything that's even in there. Even this goes beyond Sadako or like the dead body thing. It's like, you're never getting to whatever's in it. It's been like clamped into there. Like his body will never be able to be removed from that suit. It would probably be destroyed in the process. And then at the end of the day, even if you didn't want to and you just wanted to do Springtrap, like it's an animatronic suit. Like you might as well do it with like a you know, a toy. Like same thing for Chucky. Chucky's even worse. Chucky's literally just a doll. Like not even a person, not even an organic entity. Chucky is an inanimate object that is being possessed by a serial killer. You might as well just do it with a toy at that point. Like it's the same thing. So no, Chucky has an obvious bottom spot. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of this. I just wanted to do this because I watch Asimov's and I saw it in one of the comments of his videos. They're like, do a bangability tier list. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. So someone had to do it. Thank you guys for watching. If you're mad and you're angry and you think Singularity is S tier, put it in the comments. And yeah, have a great day.